Hey guys, just wanted to put out here today that a new update is coming to the game. It will be coming later this week, starting on April 10th. The server maintenance will commence April 9th for Oceanic China PST time, and then April 10th for all American servers. So with this update, a lot of stuff is coming. I know you guys haven't seen a video from me in a long time about Diablo Immortal, but I wanted to break it down because I know you've seen me streaming. There's a lot of new content that's come out, a lot of new questions that are being asked. So we're just going to dive right into it. So right here, we have the new Season 25 Battle Cosmetic. You can just see basic highlights of what all the classes look like. This is going to be on your battle pass, so something to look forward to. On top of that, they are adding obviously the contracts. If you do the empowered battle pass, you can also pay the $15 and get the archive battle shop points as well if you need that. And then starting from the 11th to the 9th is the new battle pass. After that, all the other updates that I'm going to dive into are going to take into effect as well. So anybody played the Survivor's Bane? I know I personally had a lot of fun with it. It's a little like mini mobile game that's inside of Diablo Immortal, and it's always fun when it comes back. Well, they're adding new abilities to it, so now you can get an enhanced ability to where you can hold up 8 more skills and have increased damage. They also are saying there's going to be new variations of the endless mode, because if anybody remembers, endless truly wasn't endless. You eventually would fight the butcher, and then it would say, GG, you won. So now they're doing some changes to it. They're also introducing 2 new Hellish Augment versions of Survivor's Bane, which greatly increases the overall challenge. Legions increase enemy spawn rates by 100%, increase experience by 50%. The second Stampede increases enemy density by 50% and enemy movement speed by 25%. If everybody remembers, you basically just run around, your character auto shoots, and if you get hit by enemies, you lose health and eventually die. Eventually you become so OP you should be able to finish the endless mode, but they're going to be adding that, and there's always Legos, crests, whatever that get thrown into it, experience for the battle pass. Partaking in these new modes will also earn you increased rewards from rising to meet the challenge for a favor of the Sanctuary's finest could muster. So, event center. So this looks like a little time lapse. There's going to be the event center increasing your rewards from the 19th to the 21st of May. And it looks like you're going to accumulate some type of points doing Survivor's Bane, Alley of the Blood, and then all clans on deck is going to open up and you're going to accumulate points there. You can get a free crest, some gems. You know, we all need those secondary gems. Conquering legions of burning hells will also earn you the Seals of Triumph, which will reward you in any kind sheer number of deeds you can attribute in their name. Eligible, see the bottom left side, so 1 normal gem, a legendary gem, pearls, legendary items, avatar frame, aspirin keys. So those are your achievements right down there. Then we have a good PvP. I know I had fun with it. The Wild Brawl, it basically starts you off at level 1, you go all the way to level 10. You can actually party with people, so you can have a 4-man party queue up, and then you'll be versing anybody else, or you can just queue up and do it with random people. But Residence doesn't have a factor. You start out with nothing except for the skills that you have, and then you go around and you collect set items, you collect gear, and you just battle it out to be the last one surviving as the circle gets smaller and smaller, and you'll die outside the circle. If you haven't tried it out, that is a very fun event along with Survivor's Bane, and that'll be kicking off also on the 19th of April to April 26th. Then the Alley of Blood's coming back. where you're basically gonna be fighting the towers again. This is where you could put in any rank 5-star gem. Doesn't matter if you ever want to try out a rank 10 5-star gem, it will rank all the legendary gems that you socket to 10. So you can see what that is. Your legendary gear and set gear will be set to 1. And kind of the thing it doesn't tell you, it does take out all your secondaries. And then every character is set to 60. Your pets don't go with you, so keep that in mind. And the bottom 2 traits that you have that we got when you hit 800 and you got access to the new skills, you don't have your tab function, and you also don't have those 2 gems. So keep that in mind when you're going in. So right here it says bonuses that are disabled: residence, clan and war bands, normal gems and charms, helicory bonuses, stances, paragon specializations. Then we got the shady stock. Everybody knows what the shady stock does. But one thing that everybody was having a question about, and now we can officially talk about it, is the new gear that you're getting from the Hellslayer bounties, the Terror Rifts, killing the Oblivion Towers. Is when you get the class specific gear, people were asking, if you class change, was it going to change? And the answer is yes. And now here's a little guide that just shows if you're a wizard and you switch to barbarian, if it said ice armor, it would change to whirlwind, wave of light, daring swing, crusader, all the different ones. And then obviously necros over here, blood knight, all of that stuff. They didn't showcase every single class, but it will show you when you class change what it's going to change into. And hopefully they'll pop up a little cheat sheet that'll show everything, or there'll be a little guide in game. It doesn't really say whether or not there is, but they are just saying if you obtained any of these items class specific, it will shift to a different, depending on the affix to the class. These affixes are tied across classes on affixes. One class will always update to the same affix on a different class. So another issue we've been seeing is a lot of AFKers in BGs. They get pissed off. They see who they're fighting against. They go, oh, we're just not going to participate, and you're down a person. Well, if you end up losing that match because you have an AFK teammate that got removed, because they do remove you, they're going to compensate you for the loss. So you're not going to necessarily always go down in points. You may go slightly up. It may just stay the same. But a big one, they're finally listening to all the outcries about the Necromancer. So the Corp Lance Imperial Worm's Helm used to immobilize players. The level 1, 2, 3, and 4 are mastery levels. At mastery level 4, it was 3.6 seconds that you could immobilize somebody. So what they're doing now, when striking an enemy, they'll only be affected by the immobilize effect every 6 seconds instead of 3. So basically, a Necro could come in with the new Mungus Pants with Dark Curse, generating corpses, shoot you, stun you, back up as he's generating more corpses, shoot you again, and it's already been 3 seconds, and you're just permanently stunned. Players were getting stuck for 8, 10, even 15 seconds till they finally ended up dying. And now they've actually increased the cooldown on it, and then prevent any dash skills from hitting 4 times for 4.8 seconds. So they did reduce the movement speed just a little bit for the timing of how it lasts. But the big one that everybody was complaining about was the immobilizing effect. They were listening, considering the cooldown of Lance from 4 was 3 seconds and stunned players for 2.4 seconds. Players were essentially able to stun lock their opponent with relative ease. The change to this cooldown should allow for a fair fight. And I think it may change to where if you aren't a whale, you may see them switching back to pillar. It may not change. It may. We'll just have to see. One that I'm looking forward to, being a whale myself, especially after that Starfield event where you could basically spend money to try and get gems, and you got a bunch of crests, you got a bunch of keys, all this stuff. I ended up walking away with like 1,300 orange crests and over 2,000 rare crests. Well, now they're changing. Your aspirin keys will stack from 99 to now 10,000 per slot, and all crests of all types will also do the same, from 99,000 to 9,999. Upgraded materials such as scrap is also being increased, because the biggest thing we've heard is either the people that have already farmed their gear to level 30 had all this room taken up by all this scrap, or from the whale perspective, after that event, you had so many keys, you had so many crests that you literally had like 4 lines of space. Like, I walked away with over 20,000 keys. 20,000 keys with 1,300 orange crests stacked at 99 plus 2,100 plus rare keys or crests. I had like no space for anything. So that's a massive improvement. Everybody's going to like, I think, the scrap one the most, and a lot of whales are probably going to like the rare crest stacking, because we typically have a shit ton of those because we're not really running those. There are some region-specific updates for the versions for China, battlefield performance optimization, now casting your skills and raging overall combat should be much smoother, is what they say. This optimization eventually arrives in all regions in the future content update. Biggest thing I see is they introduce a bunch of new shit. It causes a lot of lag. We report it to the devs, and then they overall make a change. They may put it in a patch note. They may not. It may get delayed. But then people will say, oh, I'm not feeling so much lag. Or you got the people that are like, oh, I'm just rubber banding all over the place. So we'll have to see with the new update that comes out if it's really going to affect Battlegrounds. If it does, let us know. We'll pass it along. There hasn't been really any new updates, but we can click the bug fixes. The last update was April 2nd, which I guess there were some issues which everybody should be aware that they had already gotten fixed. They did it. They fixed the terror rifts because you weren't able to get enough. You could barely do enough to get one. Now you can do all 4 towers. The Hell Slayer bounties, there was a chance where you created one, you'd go in and it'd instantly tell you failed instead of giving you a 30-minute timer. So they fixed that issue for the bounties. Players getting kicked for the bounties, and reduced amount of rare bounties available. Fixed an issue where enemies wouldn't appear in the Oblivion Towers. Fixed an issue where players couldn't activate Oblivion Towers. They did performance fixes for the terror rifts, which we were able to tell right away, and fixed an issue which would cause the game to freeze when claiming rewards from trophy section of the codex. There had been a lot of lag between the armory, the codex collection. You'd click it, it would do a mass collection of things, and then your game would lag out and potentially crash. So that's all the bug fix updates. I didn't want to bring it over because it's literally like 5 lines. But this update's coming out, just like coming next month. There'll be a bunch of us that are going down to Blizzard. I'm not going to put any info out, but we're going down there to do a meet and greet and maybe a test. I know everybody's seen the timeline that there was supposed to be a new character that was coming out in between March and April. I think that was just slotted in there to show there was a new class. My best guess is that it's probably this new class is going to come around the 2-year mark, but we'll just have to wait and see. And of course, whenever we get the details to release the info that we have, I'm pretty sure you'll see plenty of videos out from myself, Echo Gaming, Keys. We'll all put out the info and filter it as it comes. But for now, this is just the update. Hopefully you enjoy it. Remember to like and subscribe if you haven't. And please feel free to join my Twitch channel anytime I'm streaming. I always try and go live daily. And now that I'm back on days, you'll see a lot more of me. And I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you in the next video. All right. Thanks. Bye, guys.